topics that are discussed or played in these games are not suitable for everyone or all audiences because of the dynamic nature of tabletop RPGs. You could encounter sensitive topics or things that people might find uncomfortable. Whether or not that's you, please do whatever you'd like. Take a step away, maybe mute the stream, or come back to it another time. Whenever you feel comfortable. The maturity level of the content is considered like 16 plus, so please use that at your own discretion. And without further ado, let's play the game, shall we? Shall we? With this in mind, can I talk? Can I talk? I don't know if I can talk. I don't know. Why don't we meet our players instead? Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh no. There we go.
Is this my doctor?
What? Am I your doctor now?
Never mind. It was a
New
joke.
phone, who dis?
Exactly. Like, who's this?
We just...
It me.
It you.
It me. You guys ready to play some D&D?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's
Alright.
do this. Okay, where's my notes? Where's my notes? Here we go.
Oh, I
Okay.
should probably get mine too.
Nice. Haha. Finger guns. Okay. Get ready, boys and girls, because this is going to be a long one.
Very well.
Very well.
Boys and girls. And dog.
Misters,
Dog.
Mrs., and
And
Mixes. Okay. Settling into the dark horizon, the sky filled with stars, and the moon looking down upon the planet with its cracked visage. These tiny lights shine brilliantly and brightly, the moon's pale glow smiling in its ever-vigilant course in the sky. But they're outdone by light closer to the surface. Dark night sky splitting the horizon with the illuminated surface of our planet, the great city of Njorkogen. The city is protected by a dome of energy. This dome serves as a deterrent from the outside, as well as a conduit for energy for the many residents within. Work is always being done on it, and to extend its reach, reinforce its power, and continue to provide citizens of the city with this great utility. The city itself is home to about 180 million residents and growing. The city is a newer development with only 110 years of history, if you count the plan of development as a start of that history. The city is established with Carehole, one of the world's capitals, backing the project. Carehole sits nearby at the edge of the continent, overseeing the development and infrastructure of the entire ordeal. There's rumor merging of the cities once Njorkogen has grown large enough to meet its border with the capital, but the citizens here have grown fond of it and likely seek independence. Of course, this aspiring utopia is not without its flaws. A few centuries ago, it was revealed to the world that nations that use the magic... It was revealed to the world and its nations that the use of magic was more dangerous than previous inclinations would have you believe. Magic drew its power from the world, and with every casting of a spell, every ritual, every incantation, word of power, the world's strength dwindled. Since this revelation, people have sought to utilize long-lost technologies. The concerted efforts to uncover, reveal, learn, utilize, and replicate past knowledge was astounding. Like a people all with one focus against a certain outcome. It was deemed most efficient to copy as much of the structure from the past as possible to make the best use of these technological boons, and as our reliance on magic dwindled, our necessity for technology grew. Now people rely on their own intuition, their own knowledge. Magic is often viewed as a specialty, not wholly uncommon, but definitely less prominent and public. People grew to understand that these two things, magic and science, were two paths never to be crossed. So the last few centuries renovated the structure and understanding of our current civilizations without the heavy need for magic. Our city, Njorkogen, was no stranger to this. Even from the first plot of land, the city has always been looking ahead, future-proofing. The city is home to many of the greatest technological advances in the world and constantly strives to be at the forefront of science. The dome itself is no stranger to this concept either. The city agreeing to deal with current industries, mega corporation known for all things energy. Of course, the citizens will need all of the natural first world accommodations. Atlas Reserve comes in naturally with their credit currency. W3 comes in supplying access to the net. M Network providing entertainment and media on all platforms and channels. Every mega corporation has their hands in this city. Vector Tech, Caldwin Express, the Arcana Consortium, Galen Organization, Siegfried Traces, every single one has planted themselves in the city. With business and politics both flourishing, it's no wonder the city was an overnight success. Millions migrated to our fair city as soon as it opened. We get to live in the aftermath of that development. But enough talk about politics and business and work. We can touch back on everything mentioned when the time comes. Let's move to the present day. Where are we? What has happened to our unlikely group of heroes that forced them to come together? And what will they do next? In order to understand all of this, we move through the majestic, clean, beautiful neighborhoods and streets of suburbia and go through the ground. What we're just viewing was the sky layer, the utmost floor of the entire city, structured upon massive pillars and built on structural plates, ground filled with wires, cables. You get the picture. Moving downward ever quickly, the floor beneath is much more ordinary. Pillars are readily evident throughout the entire horizon view, while the undersides of the plates project the image of the sky outside. These images, regardless of how realistic they are a constant reminder of a person's place in society. The brilliant night sky juxtaposed with the pillars of plastic and metal disappearing into clean edges up above. The inner echelon is the middlemost layer of the city. And truth be told, there isn't much difference between this level and the ground floor, but some imagine it as a step towards making it to the sky layer. City Hall stands majestically at the center of this space, completely out of place, as if someone grabbed it from up above and brought it down to the echelon. As we move further down still, through an entire layer, we go to the ground floor, also sometimes called the plaza. Here we visit the center of the city, where the original City Hall once stood. The abandoned district is home to derelict buildings, slums, dilapidated structures, and a thriving community of people who have made the best out of their situations. At the center of the abandoned city, at the center of this abandoned city district sits Barksville, local community of people who are down on their luck or discriminated against. It's here that many find a home, including many spliced races, due in part from their history of ongoing and originating from genetic splicing. They're no stranger among them, and one of them is party to our heroes. We see a hectic city, people bustling about, frantically looking for something, patrols of groups of corpo agents out on the streets in droves. As we tune into one of these shoddy homes in Barksville, the first thing we cut to is a cat. A black cat, sitting proudly upright on a coffee table, but sitting impatiently still. They look between all of the people in this home, trying to get a read on who to go to or what to do next. Why don't we first meet the homeowner. Darwin, could you please introduce yourself?
Everybody, my name is Darwin, and Darwin's a bit of a taller Kano figure. You guys are familiar with Australian Shepherds? He's a bit of a blue merle. If not, he's got like tufted fur with some grayish spots around, interrupted by some tan outlines. A line of white fur kind of bisects all of those different colors I described earlier there. And he oftentimes wears like tech outerwear with a big black hoodie that kind of covers all and holds all of his tech stuff.
Alright. You look around your little townhome. It's modest. It's perhaps not as elegant or homely as some of the others might be used to, but you invested in yourself rather than all the small trinkets of a living space. It's what you need. It's clean. The most important thing is that it's yours. Is there anything that you believe you'd be doing as you get home from where you were previously?
Where I was previously when I was...
You've just gotten off of the maglev, the train system, and you've arrived at home from frantically running.
Let's see. The first thing I would do is probably contact everybody to see where they're at right now and if they're doing okay.
Yeah, everyone is with you. They're all in your house.
They're in my house. Oh.
They all came with you.
Sorry.
Yep. They all came with you.
Then, what I would do is probably, if I remember correctly, I do have a terminal at my place, right?
Yeah, it's a basic one.
I would probably try to go into my terminal and see if there's any sort of how do you say, like, notification out for like a police bulletin or something of that sort.
Hello?
Sure.
And try to just get like as much information out of that as possible.
You move to get set up on your computer, and as you're sitting down, you see a notification pop up on your phone. With all of the hecticness that has happened in even just this past half of a day, you didn't even realize what time it was. 4 a.m. As you're looking down at this notification and seeing the clock, you realize it has finally ticked over to the next month. The notification that you receive is from the bank for your business, telling you that all of the finances and funds and expenses and wages have been successfully taken from your account and given to your employees.
Thank goodness.
With how everything is running, you get onto your computer to see if you can find some kind of notification or maybe not a warrant, but like a wanted message or like a watch out. I don't know what those are called. What do police call those? Like a
Bolos.
Mm-hmm.
Be on the lookout.
Bolo.
Never heard that.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was like a
Yeah.
bulletin.
Wouldn't those be bottles? Be on the lookout. Bottle.
Well, that's
They call them bolos, though.
Be
Yeah.
on the lookout, everybody.
Be on lookout. Be on
Yeah.
lookout.
Be on the
Anyways.
lookout, everybody. Bottle.
Anyways,
Sorry,
yeah. You immediately begin to try and search for any bolos that are out for the event that has perspired.
perspired.
the event that has occurred.
Right?
It is kind of
Is it
warm.
perspired or is it transpired?
Transpired was the word I was actually thinking of.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Sweating
Love
is
it.
gay, apparently.
Sure.
I'm just making a joke because maybe explain my jokes to you twice in a row.
The fuck?
Live?
Excuse me?
During Pride Month?
How dare?
How dare? How dare?
Yeah. So you get this notification on your phone. I need you to make me a. You're a techie boy. Go ahead and give me that. Oh wait, don't you have a specific ability for this? What's the one I told you should be using?
What do you mean? In terms of skills?
Yeah.
It's not just technology?
No, there was a different one that I was telling you should use.
I just have knowledge and technology. Those like my two ones that I usually use for my my
I
thingy
could've
things.
sworn.
Don't have any like skills, or not skills, but like abilities.
My abilities.
Like
I've
cool
got.
cyber shit.
that comes later, I think. When I start hacking through time. Yeah, I just have knowledge, technology, and that's it. Those are the skills, at least. I glitch a remote switch.
Can you look in your actions tab?
Uh-huh.
Put something in there for you. Can you read?
I have
remember.
knowledge, technology. I also have coding.
Yes, that's the one. That you
That
should be
one's a-
using that.
That one's an attack.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you want me to use that one?
Yeah, attack that keyboard, dude.
Attack it. No.
In your flurry, maybe you hit the wrong keys, maybe you're not using the right keywords. Your head is flustered, you're not thinking straight, it's early, you haven't gotten any sleep. It's a bit difficult right at this moment to really discern what your situation is. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do in this moment of reprieve?
You said it's 4 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll leave it alone, but at some point, I do want to check in on my employee that I just sent by himself to the hospital with no protection.
Yeah, you remember that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, you
He's my
remember that guy.
he's my employee.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I shouted to those thugs?
No, I don't.
I just said, leave him alone. That's my employee.
Such a good businessman.
To try to intimidate them.
God damn.
I'd be scared.
But in my defense, the intimidation was also I had a gun, and so it doesn't really matter what I shout, right?
I mean, that kind of matters. You could just be some weirdo with a gun, or you could be his boss.
Very, very
got
true. I had to establish the employee-boss relationship.
Right, because
Leave
that
him
was the
alone,
most
he's not
important
keeping
thing.
Insurance.
For everyone else, the employee that you're talking about is one that is hired under your company, Everything. Your company is a consultation and action business. You're hired for many things, including investigating or helping out with some inner paperwork or doing some questionably gray area things. This employee decided they were going to take a job outside of the company because the money was just too good to pass up. And when you found them the next day, they were haggard. They were physically beat, and you decided they needed to get checked out. So you checked them into the hospital, said that you would finish the job for them, took the briefcase that they were supposed to drop off in the underground, and you guys headed your merry ways. Except that's not all there really was to it, right? You took the briefcase and opened it. We'll get to what happened about that in a second. And as you're thinking about this employee, you get another notification on your phone. It's from the hospital. Tagline says urgent.
Gosh. Uh-oh. I'll open it. I'll see what it has to say right now.
As you're unlocking your phone to open this message, you get another one immediately from your business as well, queued up in this log. The first one, as you open the one from the hospital, has a bunch of just like normal pretext, like, hi, thanks for using such and such, right? And you're scrolling down to see why this was urgent. There are several pictures given to you. The employee sitting, or not sitting, but laying in the bed, 2 gunshots into the head and heart. The insurance needed to be paid out. They contacted you, and it was automatically deducted from your business account, which would explain the second message you just got. What would you like to do?
He's not doing so well, is he?
I wouldn't say.
No,
Hang in there, buddy.
You could raise him if you want. It's gonna cost you some.
Well, I was gonna send a get well soon card, but that's out of the question now.
You didn't already send it.
that would have been so terrible. Oh gosh. Okay. I'll open the second one to see how much they've deducted out of my company insurance.
A lot.
Oh. Does that affect our bottom line? Will we still be able to make like next month's payments to everybody?
Well, I mean, this month's has already been paid out, right? If you're already thinking ahead to next month, you don't have enough anymore.
Because of the insurance, or we just need to make it month by month?
Yeah, basically the latter.
It's a little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Who's this insurance being paid out to? Like to his family? I'm guessing. Or
Oh yeah, it's being paid out to the hospital. They're charging you for taking care
for
of
the
patient.
treatment.
Yeah,
I see.
and the body.
I don't think there's anything I can really do. Can I pay the hospital to take care of the body in terms of like put it on? I might want to inspect the body.
Oh yeah, you've already paid for it.
Okay, so that's all just deducted out of the insurance. Like everything, they put the body on ice. They're gonna preserve it till they get there. All that
Yeah, I
other
mean they're
stuff.
gonna have to do an autopsy and all of that. So that's just gonna happen.
I mean, the cause of death, it's probably pretty clear.
I don't know.
He's been punched in the face twice, in the chest twice with bullets.
With bullets.
Ouch.
Do I know if this employee has any type of like cybernetic like memory, or does he have his pad on him, or any of those things?
You're not really gonna know until you get to the hospital. I mean, he obviously had a phone, right? But
yeah,
knows if it's still
when
there.
I check his, can I check his location?
The
It's
last
like-
thing you remember about it was that it was turned off.
This could totally be a trap. Does anybody want to go to the hospital with?
As you are considering this plan of action, you also remember, as you're looking out towards the living room to see everybody to gauge if this is a good plan or not, there's also the deal with the cat, right? This is not just a normal cat. This is a brand new intelligence, extremely smart, capable of instantly learning. It's a veritable mold for all kinds of evil if it's in the wrong hands. And it was just in time that you were able to disconnect it from the internet and stop it. You remember in that craze that it was repeating the words, "How can I help?" Right? And spreading this message to every place it could. How many people did it reach exactly? How much did it learn in the few short minutes it was connected? Whatever happened, it attracted a lot of attention and fast. So you've got a couple things to worry about. And as you are looking back, you're seeing the odd one of the group, the one that wasn't with you in that situation. She sat herself up on a table and tinkering about on her phone. Ryia, if you could please introduce yourself to the group.
Sure. Ryia is a young woman in her late 20s who looks like right now she could use a cocktail, or given the time, at the very least, a goddamn latte. No matter the drink of choice, though, she seems ready to tackle the world and its problems head on now because she does not have any other choice. She has hair of a violet color that falls around her shoulders in waves, and behind purple bangs peek like a pair of curious yellow-tinged eyes, peering at the world behind rectangle-shaped glasses. She currently is sporting what she believes to be the attire of a self-made woman, kind of a belted business skirt kind of thing, thigh-high stockings with a cute pair of heeled boots, gold clasps. She is sporting a poofy little black jacket, and under that a snug white crop top, leaving her midriff slightly exposed. Currently absent of the drink of her choosing, she casts her bored and very lightly annoyed gaze around the room for something to keep her busy and her mind off of her current predicament. And with her colorful new cast of coworkers and their current situation, she's betting that won't be too far off.
Hopefully not. When you met up with the party a couple hours ago, they were already pretty haggard and riding their adrenaline. It was clear to you immediately that you should give them some time to come down from that, and you're giving them that. In the meantime, you're setting up this Go phone that you've got just so that you can keep contact. In order to enable it, you had to connect using your old information, and this phone is a far cry from what you just had yesterday, but it's something. You also know you can't have this phone for long. Since you had to use your old information, it's a possibility, albeit low, that you could still be tracked using it. Regardless, it's probably best to get to a carrier, get a new number at the very least, and see about it from there. As you're fiddling around with this device, setting up like your basic apps for necessities, how are you feeling, and what do you think is your next move?
She's probably feeling a little on edge, with her whole own host of problems that she's dealing with, and I assume she was filled in on what happened when she arrived with the group, and now there's like a sort of magical, self-aware cat in the mix. It just gets more and more complicated. But right now, I think her priority is she is probably outside of installing apps and uninstalling bloatware on this Go phone. Probably looking around the area for magical guilds and institutions of learning that she could possibly join, because the phone that she left was her spellbook. So she is restricted to only cantrips at the moment. And she is feeling her uselessness even more so outside of her disconnected status.
Yeah. As you're searching, you also get a notification pop up on your phone as well. It's saying that the download of prior information has finished. It's asking you if you want to sync your phone to that now.
Do I feel like this would expose me further? I think it does. I think it would.
Not any more than already. Like, you're already using like your old number. That's about as much as. That's about as bad as it could be already. You know.
Oops.
True, that's
like,
fair.
Yeah, like, what is like downloading your old messages or contacts gonna do further than using your old number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. God, do I?
You could
want
still like just not do it if you want. It's up to you.
to sync? I don't think that Ryia sees any need to. I don't think she needs any information like that. She'd probably hold off for now.
Yeah, it's one of those notifications that doesn't delete. Instead, there's a new option that becomes available when you click no. There's a option now to either delete all of that information or reformat the device. You keep that notification at the top of the top bar of your phone, and yeah, you're searching around for magical institutions. Is there any that like immediately interest you?
Well, I think she was thinking of the consortium, but like that's really heavily megacorp leaning, of course. And
oh, they are
and,
their
you know,
own megacorporation.
Right, and megacorps talk, so maybe she realizes that might not be the best solution, being on the run from one. I think she's currently weighing the Lyceum would probably be too boring for her. Alright, so she's either looking into the Brave Adventurers Repose for like the Adventuring Guild kind of angle, but she's also considering the Sunrise Academy because she thinks that maybe she could like hide among all the low-level wizards that are milling about. But her eyes keep drifting over to the Veil Walkers for some reason.
For some reason.
Who knows?
You can really just go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, she can investigate institutions when the sun comes up and they open, I guess. For now, I think she's also just kind of just needing something to do.
Yeah. As you're just kind of fidgeting about, just trying to garner information about which place is best for you, there is a swirl of tattooed ink that moves along your right forearm. You hear a deep groan inside of your head. You understand this message. So much sacrifice. For what? I am sorry you lost so much of yourself.
Has my familiar ever spoken to me before?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we can, okay, so this isn't a surprise.
No.
She kind of mentally shrugs and, responds and says, well, it wouldn't be the first time I've started over. Did it once, I can do it again.
Perhaps, but not alone this time. We should perhaps confer with our new friends. See where we stand.
Friend sounds like kind of a strong word. I would prefer associates. But your statement is nonetheless true. I don't know, man. I could really go for some caffeine.
Perhaps associates is comforting, but friends might be what we need. Besides,
I hate it when you're right.
they may be the only ones you can trust now.
We're all
Think-
complicit in crimes together.
her eyes keep drifting back to the notification after she says that, or after it says that. She's kind of biting her nails, and she says, "Yeah. God damn it. Okay." And
I have a bit of just a quick question. Do we hear the familiar talking?
You
that's
guys
in-
hear a groan.
But we do hear.
Oh.
we
And
do
we hear it
Ryia
like
talking
coming.
to her familiar.
That depends on Ryia. I believe this was a private conversation, so it's probably in her head.
Okay.
yes, I would say so.
Okay.
Hey, GM, what's an easy way to check spell descriptions?
Check spell descriptions? You should be
Yeah.
able to, like, go into your spell list and just, like, click on it. Should be able to just
like
do that?
in the lower left, right?
Oh, no, on your character sheet. If you do it from the lower left, it's most likely going to be like a spell roll, because those are, like, action buttons.
Oh, no, you can click it on the left. You just click it on the left to like highlight it, and then you go to view in the middle.
Nice, they added
When
it.
I go to my character sheet and I click
Uh-huh.
on spells, it just kind of lists my spells. It doesn't
Yeah.
really give me an opportunity to click them.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Are you using the app? Or
I'm using the browser version.
It doesn't matter either way. I don't know.
Oh, is it the same? I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're the same.
Okay, I do have a way
Okay,
to
hold on one
check
second.
here.
I am loading your spell list.
I'd like to take this moment to say that did you know that alchemy is still in
God fucking damn it.
it's still in what is
Stupid
it,
joke.
alpha or beta?
That's pretty.
Stupid joke. Are you able to right click on your spells in that list?
In my character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Loading. Loading. Come on, alchemy, old girl. There we go. I can't really do anything.
I'm
Can I
fine
send you a
with you.
screenshot of what I see? Would that help?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sending this message to you, Zola.
Oh, that's what that looks like. I forgot how character sheets look like on your side. Yeah, you're gonna need to go on the bottom left.
Not a problem.
Yeah, there
Um,
should be instead a right-click option to like send to journal. I think it is.
I
That
can
used to
also
be in the
view.
character sheet. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, so the reason why I brought up this dialogue about the spells,
Mhm.
it says I can talk to my familiar completely telepathically. Would they still hear the groan? Is that like
The
unique to my
groan
familiar?
is The groan is audible, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Does it sound like someone's stomach growling, maybe?
Oh, fucking hell. It's a huge-ass moth in my room. Ah!
Be safe.
You.
Be safe.
It's not your time yet. Wait your turn.
I had to open the door to let it flee.
The groan kind of sounds like if you've ever heard like an old wooden chair rubbing against like a hardwood floor, but like an extended version of that. Just
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I guess anyone who's looking at Ryia would see that like she's kind of holding her palm open, like face up to the ceiling, and the tattoo's kind of coiling around her arm with the head kind of settling in the palm area, and she's just kind of like staring down at it with a neutral expression while she has this conversation.
Yeah, as you have this this thought and conversation into your mind, for you as well, many things to be taken care of, just one after the other, and none are more important than the other either. Might be good to talk it over with everyone to see where they're all at. As you're looking over into the living space, there is a woman that you recognize. You had a short private conversation with her, laying down on the sofa, completely passed out, and on the single-seated sofa next to her is Shell, watching closely over her to make sure that she's all right. Shell, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I think at his feet would probably be a large suitcase. But he sits there with his arms crossed, kind of like expression focused and neutral. He does look at Kara a lot, but he also kind of like surveys the scene as a whole. With how calm he is, you couldn't possibly guess that he'd had the freakiest night of his life. At a glance, he could easily be clocked as some flavor of corpo. His suit is sleek and modern, each article more expensive than the last. There's a dark teal vest with red embroidery that sits over a black button-up, the sleeves of which are pushed up toward the elbows. He wears simple black slacks accessorized with a belt and well-polished dress shoes in a similar hue as his vest. Over it all is a long gray coat, usually allowed to drape off his shoulders as opposed to actually wearing it, but right now it's probably over the arm of the couch. His hair is pulled back into a high ponytail. His bangs are left to shadow the majority of his face. Maybe it's the way he carries himself, maybe it's how the shadows fall, maybe it's Maybelline, or maybe it's
Nice.
because his pretty boy bright blue eyes are kind of often lifted into a Kubrick stare when he locks gazes with others due to his short king stature. Either way, he's kind of an unfortunate sufferer of terminal resting bitch face.
Maybe it's Maybelline. God damn it. Shell, as you are positioned here on the sofa, just, in the middle space, there is the cat sitting at the coffee table, just looking around, moving its neck to position itself where it can see everyone at a glance. You are here in this middle space. You have, again, a good view of kind of all the paths this room can take. There are the stairs that are next to the front door. There is the 2-foot long hallway that leads to the dining room, if that makes any sense. It's just a wall that breaks up the living room to the dining room and kitchen. It's a small townhome. Could be cozy. Definitely It's definitely a home and not just a house. You are here, and you understand that the situation is tense. Everything needs to be taken with care. Your work partner is sleeping on the sofa after immediately passing out and running out of her own exploding apartment. And you understand now that she's a diehard worker, and you understand that she does a lot for you. A lot more than you even previously assumed that she did for you. Even down to finding the people now in this house with no previous affiliation could be considered random people with very particular skills that would help in uncovering the mystery that you were tasked with. She even went as far as finding people that had low prestige to keep visibility at a minimum. And in doing so, helped you organize for this plot about finding a man named Damian Valinsky. And this plot evolved into something that was very out of pocket. Understanding and eventually finding a body of Damien's and realizing, or figuring out at the very least, that this was a clone. She took to the plan of creating a clone for Ryia as well, to make sure that she could get out of her corpo situation. And she's done all of this behind the scenes, not really asking you, but understanding that all of these measures needed to be taken. No doubt this was all on company dime, but she was very covert about it. And all of these things weighing on you now in consideration of this, as you look at her passed out, having spent the last 2.5 days without sleep, was almost on her 7th cup of coffee. She's lying before you. Is there anything that you want to do here?
Probably adjust the 3 Ps I probably threw on top of her. So that they don't fall off. I'm not gonna hold on to those the whole time.
Make a sleight of hand. I don't know why, but this is just funny. This is just fun.
I don't want them to fall.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand. Am I good at that?
Probably not. 22.
Yeah,
hey, that's pretty freaking good.
Yahoo.
Yahoo!
Yahoo.
Yeah, you adjust the plastic plush playthings that you brought along to comfort. You're not quite sure if you brought it to comfort you or her, but you brought them for comfort and placed them on her, adjusting them so that even if she were to move a bit, they would either not move very much or still be nearby in the moment that she would turn over. And as you're securing the place of these 3 Ps, watching her rest, you sit back down, and there's the other issue, right? You were there when Darwin opened that suitcase. And inside was a glowing orb of brilliant and bright magic. You both didn't know what to do. For some reason, your first inclination was to reach out and grab it.
Never claimed to be smart.
Now, that moment is over, right? That moment happened, and washed over you. But even in its passing, you feel like it did something to you. You don't know exactly what. There's a sense of unease and change. Maybe it's all in your head. Maybe it is real. Whatever it was, you feel different somehow. When that power that went from the orb into your body was with you, there was something visceral about it that you couldn't grasp. And in the moment that Nyx, the black cat, reached out to touch you, and that transferred over, you were in this like short state of stupor, just a kind of unknowing of what happened or exactly where you were, a little bit of vertigo. But there is that problem, that it's now with the cat. You look back at it, and it's just sitting there, very still. Not even its tail is moving. As you look over at it, it turns its head towards you.
What?
How can I help?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
An apt question for this moment, too. But you know, it's been repeating this sentiment for, well, since it came into this body.
Yeah.
All of these things are conversation points that you need to have with the group. What's going to happen? What are we doing with this cat? How are we going to take care of everyone's situations? Are you still on the case for Damien?
What's gonna become of that? I mean, obviously, I don't even know if God, they're gonna assume that Kara's involved in all this. So we have to hide Kara, probably. So taking her to my house is probably a bad idea. This is probably the best location.
Is there anything you want to
So
do
much.
as you're pondering over everybody's situation at once?
Can I look for, like, news? Like on my pad or whatever?
Yeah. Make a technology check.
Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Technology. Oh no. Yep, that's about what I thought I'd get.
It's about the same as it was as you were leaving the maglev. Everyone is in a riot and a frenzy. The people who are outside are almost panicked. And just like the scene as you were getting into the maglev, patrols of several corpo units all fill the streets trying to find something. They don't even know what it is. But you do. As you're pondering this, you take a look over to the furthest corner of the room. Sitting just on the first few shallow steps next to the front door is the person you called over for help. The person who brought the cat over. And also the same one who probably will be your best asset if you're to continue the investigation. But what everyone does is the real question. As we pan over, Zeneca, could you please introduce yourself?
Seneca is a 32-year-old nocturnal silkwing. She stands a modest 5'4" and has a mop of white hair, out of which pop a pair of brown and cream antennae that kind of flop to the side, kind of like a pair of horns. Her wings are a muted pattern of creams and browns. She has big black bug-like eyes and fluffy fur around her neck, wrists, and lower legs. She favors a gothic aesthetic, choosing dresses and leggings and very conservative clothing. And she often carries a black parasol, both for the look and for the practicality of shielding her eyes from bright lights, including the sun. She appears dainty and sweet, but she's a lot more resilient than she looks. But right now, she feels completely out of her depth. She still doesn't know who these people are, really, and her cat just... well, her cat is now kind of a supreme intelligence, and she's not quite sure what to deal with that. And she's very much aware that her rent is due, and she doesn't have the money in the bank.
Speaking of, you're normally on top of all of your things. Sure, sometimes it's been a little harder than others. This is definitely the hardest it's been in a long, long time. Normally you're able to put a little aside, help your parents, and still come out okay. This time, you've had to ask for help from Shell, someone you just recently met. Your funds being dangerously low, they've given you this lifeline. As you can see, the funds that were immediately deposited into your account leave just as quickly. What are you thinking in this present moment?
There's a level of panic. The last thing she wants to do is move back home with her parents and her brothers. There's an inkling feeling that she's fallen so far from where she was only a few years ago. She doesn't regret helping Nyx, but at the same time, it hasn't helped her much back.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's still curious about this orb, but I'm assuming there's no actual physical remnants of this orb left, right?
There is a clear glass-like sphere inside the briefcase that Shell decided to bring over.
Oh, that briefcase. No. That's Damien. If you remember.
I brought both of them.
Contains,
Oh, true. The one I was referring to.
Damien is in a briefcase.
No, Damien is in a luggage bag, guys.
Fine.
Guys.
Suitcase. Versus. Okay, so we got a briefcase and a suitcase.
Guys.
I think, in all honesty, as panicked and freaked out as everything that she is, her curiosity might be winning over a little bit. Because she wasn't there to see what happened initially, she just saw the transfer of the cat. Now she's looking at the orb. And trying to figure out if she can identify what this is. Maybe where it came from. Date it a little bit. Figure out if it's worth anything as it is now.
You don't have the identify spell, right?
I don't have spells, period.
Make an Arcana check. Just wanted to make sure. This was definitely something very powerful, something like that people who would put things on display at a museum would be taken aback by. Something that you might not even consider putting this on display, even though it's such a rarity. It's hard to discern exactly what this was, as the energy has left it. But you know where it's gone. Whatever remnants of magic that you can feel and discern off of this is far in between whatever it once was. The fact that it still has some shred of power is telling that this was something immense. Now, earlier this month, you picked up this stray cat. Gave them a name, gave them a home.
Give them
Tried
expensive medical treatments.
Tried to figure out why they were so defensive. Found some what looked to be surgical scars on their back. Came up with a theory that they might be a Tressum, who've lost a large part of themselves along with their wings. That's one issue. You've also dealt with your brothers having spent some time in jail after you had asked them to pick up some information, and they decided to hack into a company's inner database and had to deal with that. Everything that seemed like it could go wrong just tended to go wrong for you this month. So much was stacking up against you. And even in the case of this corpse, this clone's body that you guys somehow managed to put into a luggage bag in seconds and get it out the door before the apartment exploded.
You can do a lot when you're still on cocaine.
It's also
This is
not the
very
first time that we've done it, so we're kind of experienced.
Yeah, we're practiced, and the body is kind of like, like an articulated Barbie doll. Like when you get them worked up, they're kind of like easy to move. It's like that.
Yeah, you just gotta work the body so the rigor loosens up a little.
Yeah, loosen the
Folded that.
joints.
We folded that meat sack like origami.
Meat sack.
All I'm saying is, there is so much that has happened to you in the past month, the past week, and just even the past day. Do you want to continue this investigation, this quest for Damien? You know that he's working on something big, but you don't know where he really is. All you found was this clone, and now you have no way of getting into its memories. Do you take this cat now? It's got an intelligence inside of it that was a being of magic, and they've taken over your companion's body. What do you do with this now?
Well, as we've learned from the help function, it's everything is tread very lightly with this Tressum, digital Tressum, not artificial, but intelligence thing. She has a hard time leaving jobs once she started it, so she's gonna stick with it, if for no other reason, the hope of a payout. But at the same time, she's very much aware that she's got to pay rent. So it'll be a juggle again, but she's hoping to break even somehow.
Dangerously low this month, and with the lifeline Shell had extended you, you're okay for now. But there's only so many days in a month.
I thought I was completely depleted after paying my brother's bail.
Yeah, you were. But at the end of Chapter 0, you guys agreed that Shell would front you the money for this month's rent.
Oh, okay. I forgot that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I don't.
Mr. Moneybags.
I can't be it in real life. I
It's
want
really-
to pretend.
It's really funny
Let me
because
be a capitalist.
even
Sorry.
Shell doesn't understand. They don't even know how much money they have in their own account. They're just like giving you money that they don't know how much is there.
Until the
Going
bank
further and further into
I'm
debt
just
that they don't
spending.
understand.
Yeah, it might be.
What'd you say?
You're just going further and further into debt and you don't even know it.
Who knows? Maybe. I'm fine with it. Whatever.
But she's beholden to Shell for now, so if Shell says we're still doing this, she's definitely still doing this.
As we understand, everybody has their own wants, their own needs. Everyone has their own motivations, their own struggles. This eclectic group here has gathered on some odd job, and now they're stuck together because of a cat. Everybody in this little townhome can feel the air become tense. All of you are looking to see what's the next move. Probably best to talk it out before go to bed. Make sure everyone's on the same page. At least talk something over so that you guys are working in tandem or agreeing on something before the next step is taken. It's only been 15 minutes since you've gotten off that train. And everyone in this room has calmed down to finally take a breath, take a look at each other. Before you guys begin that conversation, let's take a short break.
I see.
Yes. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. Go ahead and grab some snacks, stretch your legs, use the restroom, get a drink of water, whatever you need to. We'll be right back.